Well, hello everyone, what is going on? It is the Almighty Jeff. I am here with episode 13 of Assassin's Creed. In the previous episode, we eliminated the slave trader of Jerusalem, Talal, and in this episode, as per usual, in the background, I've got me collecting all the flags and getting all the Templars and stuff in the rich districts of Damascus. Now, instead of having a Q&A series and the topic series, which I said had ended with the Journey to Jerusalem video, I've decided to merge the two because I wasn't getting a lot of questions for my Q&A series. So instead I've decided to go on to one topic and then I will answer various questions on that. Now Ron has been kind enough to send me a lot of questions to answer, and today's topic video is on Saints Row, so he has actually asked me quite a lot of questions about Saints Row that I can answer and give my opinion on. So let's get straight into question one. So the first question is, new Shandy or old Shandy? So now what he means by this, if you don't know, is new Shandy is the Shandy from Saints Row 3 onwards, old Shandy is Saints Row 2 Shandy. Now, if you're a fan of the series and you've played through the entirety of the series, you're most likely going to answer Old Shandy, which I also will answer. Old Shandy is just a lot more fun, I think, than New Shandy. New Shandy is like really bitchy, and I don't like that about her. And it's just such a completely different side to her in Saints Row 2 than it is afterwards. I think even though they're trying to show that she's matured since Saints Row 2, I think they took it way too, overdid it, and that she just got way too bitchy and way too nasty, especially to Pierce and all that lot. But Old Shandy, is just quite funny, I think. If you think of like the Sons of Sammy storyline, you just think of all those Shandy moments, like getting kidnapped by a veteran child, or the raid on the police department, you know. So yeah, my answer to that is I prefer Old Shandy. So the second question is, who is my favourite voice actor in the entire series? That's going to go to Daniel Day Kim, who, if you don't know, is the voice of Johnny Gat. Gat is my favourite character in the entire series, more than the boss, more than Shandy, Pierce, anyone. It's Johnny Gat that makes the game what it is, and I think he's just got such a unique voice and such a badassery to his voice that I don't think any other voice actor can really do than Daniel Day Kim. It's just weird. It's just that kind of voice that you need for a badass character. So the third question is, what is my most memorable moments from all the games from Saints Row to Saints Row 4, not including Get Out of Hell because I didn't have any missions. So from Saints Row, I'd say probably the first image that comes to mind would be when Julius and Benjamin King are sat in the same room and they're arguing that he's not going to step down until he takes on Tonya. That's just the scene that always comes to my mind. It's such a great scene. It just really shows how much of a great character that Benjamin King is. From Saints Row 2, I think anyone who's finished the game will know that the best scene is, well, not the best scene, the scene that comes to mind is from the conclusion of Red Assault, which, spoiler alert in case you're watching it along with my series, I've not actually done it yet, but Carlos, his death at the end of that mission is definitely something that still to this day, like, just pulls a heartstring. Like, you just see it and then you just kind of watch in shock because it's just such a sad death. Saints Row 3 is a tricky one. There's nothing really emotional in it. I mean, even Johnny's death in Saints Row the Third wasn't emotional, really. But in terms of memorable, I think maybe the last mission, three-way, when you have got to either save Shandy or kill Killbane. That's quite a well-written mission, I think, and really sets you apart. Do you care about killing Killbane so much that you're willing to sacrifice two of your saints? Like, that's a really great one. And from Saints Row 4, obviously a lot of people remember the Earth being destroyed at the end of the first act. But I think the scene that I remember most is probably the ending, the fight with Zinyak, or the dance scene afterwards when all the saints are in the on-track club from Saints Row 2 when they're all dancing to This Is How We Do It. That's also quite a good memorable scene, so that's one that I actually really enjoyed. The next question is, what is my most and least favourite side activity? Now, my favourite is quite a tricky one, but I think I'm going to go with Fuzz, which is really sad that it only appeared in Saints Row 2 and appeared in the following games. I loved Fuzz. It's such a good activity, and it's just so unique to the other ones. Like, the other ones are just the same level again and again, just a little bit harder. With Fuzz, you've got completely different things. You've got really funny scenarios that you've got to intervene with, like what was it, Pirates versus Ninjas. It's like you've got to break up a battle between pirates and ninjas. That's just really, really funny. And then it's like throw satchel charges on skateboarders because they're not wearing helmets. You know, it's just really nutty, really, and I think that really suits in with Saints Row 2's humour of being half quite serious and half about gang life, and then half of it just being really humorous, like Crowd Control, another line like Septic Avenger, and other weird activities. Least favourite activity. I think either insurance fraud or trailblazing. Or Heli Assault, which actually, the only Heli Assault I don't like is the Heli Assault from Saints Row 2. Saints Row 3 Heli Assault isn't that bad, I don't think. I quite enjoy that Heli Assault. But from Saints Row 2, oh my god, I hate Heli Assault so much. It's so difficult. But insurance fraud is the kind of thing that I'm not really that keen on from either of the games. And trailblazing, again, in Saints Row 3 it's not that bad. But in Saints Row 2, it can be a real pain in the arse. So yeah, I also do want to say I do like Professor Genki's Super Ethical Reality Climax from Saints Row 3 as well. That's a fun activity to do. So the next question is Dex. Why is he such a big deal? Dex being a big deal is because I think that's the one we know least about when it comes to the conclusion of Saints Row. The mysteries that really are there is obviously Julius, like what he did, and we all found out what happened with him, how he betrayed the boss, well at the time just the protagonist, and he caused the boat to blow up. Then obviously we get our retribution with him in Saints Row 2. Benjamin King, like we know that he went on to write a novel and leave the gang life, and we see him again in Saints Row 4, so that kind of answers that one. Even though there wasn't really that much to it in the first place. Troy, obviously we know that Troy was an undercover cop who was working undercover in the Saints. He's quite prominent in Saints Row 2 as well, and that's just pretty much obvious. But with Dex, no one really knows what happened. Like, he just kind of disappeared out of the eye. We don't know what happened. I mean, all we know is that he received an offer from Ultor and that he took it and that he got millions from it. But after that, apart from like a really brief appearance in the Corporate Warfare DLC for Saints Row 2, we don't hear anything else from Dex until Get Out of Hell. We just found out he died on Earth when it blew up. That's all we know about Dex. There is very much little information, and it's not really addressed head on that much as the other ones are. So I guess that's why Dex is such a big deal. There's just so many questions that are still unanswered about Dex. Troy Bradshaw, friend or foe? I think his intention was to disband the gang from the original game, maybe, but maybe trying to exploit them first by assisting with them disabling the Canales and the Westside Rollers and the Vice Kings. So that's why he helped them out, and then after all that, and the Saints were the only gang left in Stillwater, I think that's when he truly came out as the undercover cop, and obviously led to like the mass arrest of most Saints. But I don't think that he's a foe, because in Saints Row 2 you do see that he did try to protect the Saints in many cases, where he would not want to step in when it came to rival gangs. He'd kind of let the Saints off the hook, especially when it comes to the first mission in the Ronin storyline, when despite it being blatantly obvious that the Saints were involved in the robbing of the casino, he still tried to play it off like that we don't really have any solid evidence. So I think, despite him still being the chief of police and still like not being on the same side as the Saints, I still think he has like a bond with the Saints that kind of solidified the relationship and meant that he always had a protection and like a leniency towards them rather than a specific kind of disciplinary viewpoint to them, if you get what I mean. And the last question is, what is my favourite player voice actor? So this is just the voice of the main Saint. Now Ron obviously loves Laura Bailey. He'll always use her voice when it comes to it, and I do like Laura Bailey actually. At first I never really was keen on playing as female Saints because I felt like they were just kind of put in as a side option, because you can tell like with the storyline and the way people respond to each other and like sometimes errors in the script, you can tell that they intended for it to be played by a male, for the boss to be male. Because I mean, I've just noticed when I was playing through Saints Row the Third recently, again on my PC, a lot of issues came up like with subtitles, and even during the murder brawl mission, where they'll actually refer to it as he rather than she. It doesn't change. So, but as I was saying, when I was on Saints Row the Third, I was originally playing as a male character, and then so I could get towards the gender equality achievement, I did switch over to a female character, and then I ended up staying as that female character for the rest of the game, just because I loved Laura Bailey's voice so much. But I do have to say, when it comes to the male protagonist, my favourite is the British voice actor, Robin Atkin Downes. That's what his name is. He makes me laugh so much, and Saints Row 2 is the biggest one, which is the one, obviously the one I'm going on so far with his voice. He's really funny, I find, just so British, and just such a witty humour. So yeah, that's my answer to that one. And those are all the questions I've got for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed answering those questions. They were really great. If you've got any other questions relating to any other video game series, you know, Assassin's Creed, GTA, you know, Rockstar games in general, Red Dead, doesn't really matter. If you've got a decent amount of questions for a topic, make sure to let me know in the comments section below, and I'll answer them in the video, which should be up on Friday, which is will be the first part of the Acre Rich Districts video. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode. If you did, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye guys.